Actually, one thing I wanted to add still, I think the most surprising thing about Edinburgh this trip is it's now March 24th. The spring's actually starting here in Edinburgh, so not yesterday but the day before in Finland it was snowing a lot, like all day long. It was just full on snowing. Whereas here we landed, the first thing I noticed was that there's daffodils out, like a lot of daffodils. There's a lot of flowers already out, and the first trees are starting to bloom, like little leaves are coming out in some of the trees, and also some of the trees that flower at the start of spring, I suppose. Not cherry blossoms, or maybe even some of the cherry blossoms. Like there's one that might be a cherry blossom, like right out the window. But a few other tree species that also flower. They're like in pretty much full bloom right now. So spring is starting here, which it surely was not in Finland yet.
I'm in Edinburgh, yet how did Sydney's fur get into my tea mug? So talented she is. Wow. This is the vegan one. And the gluten-free one. Sweet. First meal in Scotland is...
Bring me my sauce too.
What did you get?
I got, well, fish and chips.
But specifically Scottish haddock.
Haddock.
And mine was the
like
haggis fritters. The vegan haggis fritters. And as a supper you get chips, as they call it. Fish and chips. We're here doing some work, and this was one of my favorite cafes when I was a student here back in the day. Me and my friend would come here a lot because like the window, the whole like side is window, so it's good for people watching, which is one of my hobbies. And also they have student discount, but not a lot of students, so there was always tables here. It was not like run over with people, so we could always find a space. And yeah, today the Wi-Fi is very, very slow, so it's been a little bit frustrating to do work here, but we have to adapt to that, since in Scotland in general the internet tends to be pretty slow. Oh no. Every time I come here there's some kind of problem with the internet, either at my friend's place where it just like breaks and stops working, or it's just really slow, or like it's supposed to work and it doesn't. I don't know. There's always internet problems. Anyways. Yeah, it's our first full day back in Edinburgh. I'm here for my sister's graduation. How are you feeling being back here?
It's nice. I'm back in the same routine. I'm doing school in a cafe, so
It's a throwback for sure. My sister hasn't been here for so many years, so it's fun to be. It's kind of nostalgic in a way that since I graduated, I haven't been back here with my sister, but then of course we did live here at the same time for so many years, so it's kind of fun to be here again.
I like the way I'm feeling. Can't touch this feeling. I'm in my feelings. Batman, me, I handle my dealings. Ain't no bag I can taste. When I'm moving, nobody can test me. Man, I really complex. Them man, them I really can't test me. Wait, I put it down. Jack a band, them
This was actually not the start of the Highlands, but the start of the Highlands Council area. Yeah, this is now our second pit stop of our Highlands tour. The first one was to the Perth Shire.
Now we're in. Where are we, Katya?
In the Drumachshire Pass. What is it called? This was the highest point of the rail system in Britain.
Where's the train though?
Where's the train? Do you see it? Somewhere. Here's the train.
Oh, it's probably that's the train track.
Oh, see the Drumachshire Pass sign is the train station. It's snowing! Snowing in the Highlands! Okay, time to touch the Loch Ness. Oh, it's freezing cold. Oh my gosh. So cold. How do you feel about your graduation trip?
It's good.
This is where I came from my graduation trip, 2019, 2023.
I just had to go to the same places.
Same town, same cruise. But it wasn't snowing when I was here.
But it's like it's not too cold.
Right
If you're
now it's
wearing
warm.
yeah. If you're wearing enough.
If you're wearing your winter jacket with a hood and a
Yeah,
hat
then
and
actually it's okay.
gloves. We're waiting for the cruise over here.
That sounds so unappetizing to me. I have zero interest in drinking bubblegum.
Leaving in 2 minutes probably.
And this created an enormous mountain chain. Those mountains are known as the Caledonians. 20 million years later, the Great Glen fault line was formed, and the mountains to the north of the loch slipped 65 miles, 100 kilometres to the southwest, forming a huge valley. Eventually, North America drifted away, the Atlantic opened, and as continents ended.
With 56 pounds of weight. Big salmon. We have 4 species of trout. Brown trout, rainbow trout. You know those probably. And this is another species. I'll leave these on the table so you can have a closer look.
There has been a community living at this end of the loch since the earliest recorded times. Following St. Columba's attempt to convert the northern to our berth. Please remain seated and the crew will shortly commence disembarkation
So
by
much snow.
designated seat rows.
Oh, it's snowing again. So here you can see the Glencoe mountains by the Glencoe Visitor Center, which is over there, and the turf house. The traditional houses they used to live in this area look like that. And you can actually go inside there. It has 2 rooms, 1, 2, oops. And some sound effects of cows inside. These frog eggs. The dramatic mountains with no trees on them anymore because they were all chopped down. What we learned on the tour was that end of World War I, there was only 3% of all the trees in Scotland left, down from when it used to be 90% originally. Like, the trees coverage in Scotland used to be 90%, then it was down to 3%, now it's 20%. So that's why you have all these mountains with no trees on them, but it makes it look very dramatic. Oops, your hood's in my shot.
So we just got back from our 1-day Highlands tour, which basically leaves from Edinburgh, and the main place where it went was Fort Augustus, which is right on the southern tip of Loch Ness. And yeah, you can take the boat cruise along Loch Ness from there, and it's like a small town which has the Caledonian Canal connecting through it. And I suppose my personal highlights from the day trip was when the little lambs came running over right to me, right at the beginning. I also really liked when it was snowing in Fort Augustus. That was a new experience. I've been there, like I've been to the Highlands before, but it's never snowed while I've been there. and I really like, every time I go to Glencoe, I'm equally impressed with the scenery there. And of course, along the way, it's always fun to see the Highland cows, like are on my socks. And it's always fun to hear the stories that the tour guide tells you on the bus, and the Scottish music, bagpipe music, and Scottish artists' music that they play. What did you think were your personal highlights?
I liked the lookout points. They all were nice. I like the mountains, and then the Loch Ness, the boat tour. I like that it was snowing.
Yeah.
Personally, big fan of that. So I thought that was fun. And
We got to touch Loch Ness water, which was freezing cold.
yeah, the cows, because I've never touched one, at least. I kind of poked it.
Poked the cows.
Yeah.
And then we learned that if it's over 3,000 feet, it's actually called a Monroe. Oh, and we did see Ben Nevis from the window.
Yeah.
And all of them were snow covered. The tops were snow covered right now.
And the weather was you got every weather in every season. So it was sunny, and then it turned to snowing, and then it was misty or foggy, and then it was
Sunny again.
Yeah.
And then it was snowy again.
so got every experience.
It was a full year's worth of experience in one day. And I'm gonna conclude this video right here. So, bye-bye!